Yes, download in this title is 2 words. And yes, the spelling of it was standardized by this point. And finally, yes, that is exactly who you think it is on the cover. He's the final boss. See, there he is, though his face melts off pretty quickly. So, with all of the immediate and obvious questions out of the way, let's get into Download 2. Okay, first we have to go back to Download 1, though we don't need to go too deeply into it. Download was a shoot-'em-up released on the PC Engine in 1990, so I've already done a video on it. It takes place in a cyberpunk future, and the download of the title refers to the ability to copy minds into computers. While you play as the same character, flying the same vehicle in Download 2, a lot of the look and feel has changed. Everyone has new character designs, your car now talks to you, and this time your super hacker Sid is on the side of the law. You see, someone has stolen vital data from the government, and they hire Sid to get it back. The perpetrator is believed to be part of the Ethnic Council. Yes, that is really what they are. So Sid heads off to shoot his way into their base, jack into their computer, find the perpetrator, and destroy the data. As it turns out, the guy on the cover is a bad artist, but a pretty good hacker. While you're playing, Button 2 fires your main gun, and Button 1 changes between the 4 weapons that your ship, the Moto Rotor, has available. Power-ups drop from red orbs, and collecting a P will increase the strength of all of your weapons. It only takes 2 P orbs to reach maximum strength, so in that regard, it's easier to recover from getting destroyed. Unlike the first game, you don't have a health bar. Any contact with anything will destroy you. Download 2 features a lot of moving terrain, and you will have to dodge that. As for the weapons, you have an auto-fire that shoots as fast as it can, even without the auto-fire switches turned on. That minimizes the differences between the weapons. The first weapon is a stream of bullets, and when it levels up you'll initially get a spread, and then it will start shooting behind you. I found this one to be a good choice when you're just flying around, and after you've been destroyed, I think it's the most effective level 1 weapon. The other weapons really need to be powered up a bit in order to be useful. The second weapon is a laser shot. A slower rate of fire than the bullets, but it penetrates anything that you shoot at. That makes it a good choice against dense formations and bosses that are often screening themselves with something. As it powers up, you increase the number of lasers that you're firing, but they only fire forward, so you're getting more above and below you. Next is the homing shot. It's decent enough at clearing out crowds of weak enemies. At level 1, you can only fire 1 bullet at a time, and you have to wait until it hits something or goes off screen, so it's completely useless there. But as it levels up, you add a lot more shots, and they fire in all directions. That makes it the most effective choice for enemies that are behind you, assuming the shots go where you want them to. Finally, there's the lightning gun. It fires a tiny little cone of energy in front of your ship. When you level it up, the cone gets a bit bigger, and at max power, you also have a cone behind you. Supposedly this does extra damage, but I couldn't really tell because getting that close to anything is almost definitely fatal. You're not maneuverable enough in Download 2 for this kind of weapon to be useful, and I wound up almost never using it while I was recording, which meant I had to go back and record this extra footage of me just using it so that I'd have anything at all. As for other power-ups, you've got an S that gives you a bit more speed. I found that your default speed that you fall back to when your ship gets destroyed is way too slow to deal with some of the more hectic sections. I had to collect 2 or 3 S's before I felt comfortable with the movement. But watch out for the G power-up, because that sets your speed to maximum, and you're totally out of control in that case. The red panel gives you a pod that will fly above or below the ship, and it will fire an extra homing bullet for you. You can have 2 pods at the same time, and while they're not vital, they are nice to have. The blue power-up, on the other hand, is vital since that's the shield. It'll let you take several hits without getting destroyed, and it will turn red right before it goes away. Finally, some of the pods have 1-ups, and why wouldn't you want to collect those? You get 5 lives in Download 2, and if you lose all of them, well, you've got infinite continues, though continuing will put you back at the start of the stage. It makes Download 2 a little bit on the easy side, though there are a few levels that are really nasty. Maybe the most impressive thing about Download 2 is the absurdly high-quality presentation. The cutscenes in this game are the best that the PC Engine has gotten so far. This is a great-looking game. And then in the levels themselves, well, Alpha Systems definitely knew to pile on the spectacle for a shoot-'em-up. The initial stages might look a bit generic, but eventually you'll be flying your way through Roman ruins with mosaics that transform and fire at you, or navigating your way through a scrolling maze of statues. And pretty much every boss is something special. Maybe the craziest is one that fires a wave at you, which will eventually connect, and then it clones your ship a bunch of times. Each of the clones can only be destroyed by the weapon of the matching color. There's a lot of moments in Download 2 that'll make you go, okay, that was pretty cool. Japanese players generally like Download 2, and they mainly point to 2 reasons for this. First, the amazing graphics, and the second thing, the reason why Download 2 will never be reprinted or re-released. You see, this game has an Easter egg. Perhaps the most notorious Easter egg on the PC Engine. If you complete the game, then when the NEC logo comes up, you press and hold up, select, and button 2. Keep holding until it goes back to the main screen, and then when you start the game, all of the enemy sprites have been replaced. Well, except the bosses. The bosses are still the same. And you might recognize some of these enemy sprites. They're crudely drawn for most of them, but they are absolutely recognizable as some of the most popular characters in Japan. And NEC absolutely, positively did not have the rights to do this. As you play through the game in this mode, you'll run into Astro Boy, all of the Thunderbird's vehicles, Devilman, Moomin, the dad from Tensei Bakabon, Doronjo, Ultraman, and dozens more. Player reactions to this mode basically come down to, how did they not get sued? And I couldn't find anyone at NEC talking about it. My guess is that it was all handled quietly, with NEC agreeing to not distribute any more copies, which is why Download 2 is kind of rare. Copies in Japan can easily cost you over 20,000 yen. My personal feelings on Download 2 are, it's pretty good, but I like Download 1 better. For Download 2, there's just a handful of little things that I didn't care for. Not problems that were rough enough to ruin the game, just things that made me go, oh, I wish that was better. Things like the lightning gun not really being effective. And I think your default speed should have been 1 step higher, since it wouldn't have unbalanced things, but it would save you from getting crushed in some of the nastier terrain. And speaking of that, the difficulty curve between levels swings pretty widely. I think the most difficult stages, by a huge margin, are levels 5 and 7, while on level 6, you could almost sleepwalk through that stage. So I think Download 2 is a pretty good game, a nice follow-up to the first, even if I like the original better, and it's pretty approachable for a newcomer. Plus it's got that Easter egg. It's definitely worth checking out.